Welcome back to our van build. Today we're tackling insulation, and I might add on another day to this video since insulation is really easy and self-explanatory. The insulation we went with is the 3M Thinsulate. That one seemed to be a good option. We also were looking at the Havelock wool. That was my first choice, but they were back ordered for several weeks, at least 6 weeks. So I didn't want to wait, and so I ordered this 3M Thinsulate. And I ordered 150 square feet of it. What we did first, we measured the wall, we measured everything out to see what size the cutouts needed to be, and then we cut a bunch. And then we started putting them in. So that was really easy, just a little time consuming. I moved the roll to the inside because it started raining outside, and then just cutting and putting it on as we went. And now I am almost done, but not quite. The thing is, 350 square feet of insulation is not enough to cover 144 wheelbase Mercedes Sprinter. I learned that. I did a little calculation before I ordered it too, but I think I forgot to add the top. So I think that was the problem. So I use this 3M multi-purpose adhesive spray, and that seems to do the job. Now, I know a lot of people use the 90, the green one. This one worked perfectly fine. The Ace Hardware I went to only had this one, and the other one was out of stock. The only parts that I use this on really are the panels on the sides and the top. There's no adhesive on there. It's just held in by these kind of the lips of the van, and that works perfectly fine. Check it out. I got my first piece in right here, right on top, and I think it looks pretty good. It's really strong, and the way I put it in, so I put these rivet nuts in. I have a riveter that I just got. Really handy tool. What it is, you just have these nuts like so, and you place that inside of a hole like that one. I put it in, and then you just insert that in there. The vans come with all these holes, different size holes, so you can just match it to the right size, and you have a nut in there now. And what I did here, I cut out this piece of wood here. This is a 1x4. I stuck a bolt in with the washer in front of it, and yeah, now that's holding it up, 2 of them. And Jocelyn's over there sanding away at the wood that I'm putting in here. I'm just gonna put a bunch of these in on top, then we'll get to the sides. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet, but I'll figure it out. All right, it's taking shape. First little bit of wood in the van. Yeah, I'm excited. Working on the van is fun. I gotta go make some more outdoor chef life videos too, but these are great too. Just put that in there, and I just squeeze the handle. Squeeze the handle, and then now loosen this knob right here. There you go. Now there's a nut in there. I can bolt down on that. My power station is going to be back here. All the batteries are going to be there, and then I think I'm going to have like an actual kind of control station probably around here somewhere. So I'm just going to run a bunch of wires for now, just to this general area, just for all my DC, for the fans, for the fridge, for outlets like USB. So I'm gonna get started on that. For my DC wiring, I'm using mostly this marine grade 14 gauge DC wire. So it's the red and the black, and it's coated with this this white one too, so it gives a little bit extra protection. The size 14 is should be good for most of the DC stuff. So I'm gonna run a bunch of this. To be honest, I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just gonna be putting a bunch of wires through my van. So this is not a tutorial, definitely not. A bunch of this conduit stuff. This is just to protect the wires through the very sharp rigid corners in the metal here, or else over time the wires will rub and it'll expose the wires, and you don't want that. Let's wire to the fans first because those are already in. Should have done this before the insulation because I'm trying to get it through these kind of the ribs and stuff, but most of the spots I already put insulation in, so that makes it much more harder. I gotta either take the insulation back out, which I could fish it back out, or I could just try to push it through. All right, I was able to take the insulation out of this part right here. And I pretty much knew that you're supposed to put the wires in before the insulation, but I think I just got ahead of myself when I got the insulation. I also have some of this from 3M and some zip ties. And I'll show you what I'm gonna do with this, and I'll leave everything in a link description. Stick this side onto any flat surface and then run a zip tie through here like so, and run any wires, or just to keep it clean, I can zip tie the wires to whatever spot that I want to, and then I can just zip tie this. I think I'm gonna keep it loose for now, just in case I want to send any more wires through. Once I tighten down, zoop, it'll just be right on that corner. I should kind of keep it out of the way. And gotta remember to label everything, all the wires, because it's gonna be a lot of wires at the end of the day, and I'm gonna forget what everything is. So I just finished the wiring for the lights. Check it out. So I'm gonna have these puck lights. They're gonna be right here. I'm gonna have 10 of them. 1, 2 here, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10. It's just one long wire that goes from right here. This is an end right here, and it goes through to the front, around, and back again, and then down into where all of the wires are collecting for the power station. And you can see that I drilled through each one of these. I don't know how people normally do it, but I figured this is like the most practical way to do it. Just drill a hole through, and then I put the conduit around right here so it doesn't rub on the metal, and I just put the wire through each of them, and I think that's gonna work perfectly fine. So right now Jocelyn's measuring out the panel on that side for the plywood, because we're gonna have we're gonna have a 1/2-inch plywood go against that back side, and I'm still gonna be running some wires. I have this 4-gauge wire that I'm gonna run from close to the battery, basically the engine. It's gonna be the alternator wire. This red wire, I have a 4-gauge here, so it's gonna run somewhere from here all the way around to the power station back there.
Almost got it in one shot.
Oh, nice. That's pretty close. Let's see how you do it. I think that'll be good. That looks pretty good. All right, guys. So made the box, made the wall right here. I also made this frame, this cutout. We're gonna put like a little nook in here. So also gonna have a little tiny window too. Very small window, and this nook's gonna allow me to kind of stretch out because we're gonna sleep sideways, right? So it'll give me extra 3 inches, so that'll be perfect. So we'll be able to sleep this way. And yeah, so it's looking pretty good right now. Obviously we have to cut this out still, but we'll do that when the window comes. Jocelyn just made a template for the right here. We're gonna put a shelf right above here, So she just made that template and then just drew it out onto the plywood. So now we just have to cut it out. Nice. So this was off a kit we bought. I think it was off Amazon. They just send you the brackets, the hardware, and a template to cut out. So we didn't really have to do much work ourselves for, you know, measuring out the for the template. But it's a little pricey for what it is, you know, because the brackets, you can just buy a bracket for like $2. Drawing it out would be the hard part, and they provide that, so it's like $100 for that, just for that kit, for 4 brackets, some hardware, and a template. It's like $100, so makes the job easy, which is nice.
I wonder why they chose to make it so up high.
So high? Yeah. I think, well, a lot of people they want to use this space still. And also they're taller too. But when we go ahead. Oh my god, yeah, you still have plenty of space. So I'm thinking we can put even more. So we'll put another shelf under here and then close it off in the back about here. So still like another foot of space and another 5 inches or so about there. Always good to have more storage whenever you can get it. You guys didn't see this? What I made last night, a little extension to the floor. So this is usually the entrance, right? This is the entrance right here, but we don't need a giant entrance, so just cut off half of it, like what most people do with their vans. And now got a little platform here, and what we're gonna have, this space is gonna be actually the stove. We're gonna put a stove in this space so we can cook and look out at the same time. I just cut out this area right here of the insulation, and I just made this cutout. It's the frame for the window, so it's just gonna fit just like that. And you might be saying, whoa, that's too big on the underside, but that's on purpose. Then I'm gonna put a couple, I'm thinking maybe like bungee cords or just another piece of wood right here, and then so we can have a little shelf. It's a window frame and a shelf. Building stuff is fun. You just come up with stuff as you go. And I think this is a great idea. It can hold like little spices, you know? It's not a big shelf, but it'll give us a little bit of space. Put some spices or whatever other small stuff in there. Maybe a tiny plant in there. It's right next to the window. I just got a delivery for the rest of the DC wires. I still need the AC wires. That I ordered a 12-3. So that's the size with the three strands. You know, DC has 2, AC has 3. So those ones are coming in later today. For now, I want to put the rest of the DC wires in, and once I get the AC wires and put them in, we should be pretty close to done with the electrical wiring at least. All right, so let's get finishing on this. Alright, so I think I'm done with the DC cables now. I got a lot of cables. Check this out. Look at all of that right there. Oh my gosh. Look at all that coming out. So this is going to be where my battery is, my inverter, and all of that. Just right here somewhere. I got to make like a box for it. And I have a lot of cables going up to this section as well. This is gonna be where the switches are, kind of like the light switches, the Victron little watt meter or whatever it's called. Got the lights above us, dangling. I made sure to leave plenty of slack just in case I mess up, and then I can kind of cut back and then redo it. So slack in every section where there will be light. And let's see here, what else we got? We got all the way over here on this corner. This is gonna be for the toilet, the ventilation. The toilet comes with a fan, I think. So power for that. You see this red line? This is actually gonna go to the alternator, and this is gonna be the battery's gonna be. It's gonna be a battery to battery charger from the alternator. There's gonna be a breaker here, and then a little bit more of this. This is a size 4 gauge, so a little more line is going to be on there. after a breaker onto the battery or the alternator, whatever that goes on. I still have to figure that out exactly, but I just had to run the line through for now. You can see here all the conduit here, but I've also put tape here too, just to make it a little less sharp in this corner too. So I feel like, you know, that'll help a little bit, even if it doesn't. You know, it doesn't hurt to do that, I don't think. Don't mind the insulation. I had to take some of that out in order to put the wires through. This is extra, just in case I couldn't think of everything right now, and I have some extra to put on there if I need it. This would be for the hot water heater. I think the hot water heater is going to the back, but I'm not quite positive. So I made it pretty long, you know, good amount, just in case I want to move it either here or over here. I can pick and choose later on. A little bedroom like reading light kind of thing that we're gonna have coming out of this wall, just right here, kind of above the bed, and just have a little one dim light for the nighttime. We got some lines going down right here. This is another extra one. I figured if I don't put the water heater back there, I can even put it over here. Just another extra. Just putting extras, you know, just you never know what I probably forgot. And this is a USB. This is going to be a little USB port right under our seat here. So that'll be that. And we also have the water pump, kind of a mess in here right now. But yeah, we got all those wires in, and all I'm waiting for now is the AC wires. I should be getting them any minute now. It's supposed to come today. I haven't gotten them yet. Really?
Amazon, yeah.
Oh, you didn't tell me, eh? All right, let's go get them then. AC wires have 3 instead of 2. The DC are 2. So anytime you're looking at DC wires, it's gonna say 14/2 or 12/2, you know? So that means it's 2 wires running through. And then when you're looking at the AC wires, this is a 12/3, since there's 3 wires in there. So that's my understanding anyways. Anyways, there's going to be a few things that are wired or that are powered by AC. That's going to be the outlets for any kind of kitchen appliances, as well as the laptops. Yeah, the laptops need the AC power, so that comes off the inverter. Well, I bought only 50 feet of this 12/3, and yeah, hopefully that's enough, because I only needed to go from there to here for the stove, there to there for one outlet, and then there on this side for a second outlet. So let's do that real quick. Alright guys, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here for this video. I don't want to make it too long because Jocelyn has to edit all these, and I don't know, I've done a lot of things I think within this video. All the wires in pretty much. Made some stuff, put those in up top. Yeah, window frame, the step. Oh yeah, I've got the step in. Oh, that's nice. I like the step, and it came out pretty like clean, nice and flush. So I'm proud of that. We're gonna be getting into it next week. Gonna put all the verticals in. I think we're gonna try to get the ceiling in, basically the ceiling and the walls. I think we're gonna get that in, so it's gonna really start looking like a van that you can live in. Thanks for watching. See you next time.